Let's bring in the host of Power Play and Question Period. Evan Solomon joins me now from Ottawa. All right, Evan, give us more details on the motion. It's about a committee, but it sounds like the Conservatives want this committee to have a lot of power.
So the Conservatives originally called it an anti-corruption committee. The Liberals thought that just stacked the deck, so they've dropped that. But the Conservative committee, and by the way, the NDP committee is similar. They want an opposition person to chair it, and they want to make sure that they get access to the unredacted documents. Those are 5,000 pages of documents that before Parliament was prorogued in the summer, they were all blacked out, these documents, and they want to make sure, they want to see what's behind some of those. The Liberals say, look, here's our proposal. We can have a committee. There could be 6 members of the opposition, 6 members of the Liberals, but there'll be a Liberal chair of the committee. That still means, in most votes, there'll be 6-5 for the opposition unless there's a tie. But the opposition doesn't buy that. So the Liberals decided, well, you know what? We're going to designate this a confidence motion. Now, legally, they have every right to do that, Marella. A prime minister can designate anything a confidence motion, though classically, in a minority government, a motion of confidence really deals with matters of supply, money, when there's government money, or the speech from the throne out of convention. But not over a committee. I literally can never remember a minority government saying the motion to establish a committee, and by the way, a committee that is investigating something that committees are already investigating and that they were investigating before this very government prorogued Parliament, stopping the work of those committees. So I've just never seen this. I think the opposition's a little gobsmacked, but here's where we are. The vote is tomorrow. The NDP has the balance of power because the Bloc and the Conservatives are going to vote for this committee one way or the other. I just spoke to Pablo Rodriguez on Power Play. He is the House leader for the Liberals. I said, any way you guys could back off and just make this a vote that's not a confidence vote? He said, no way to do it. So now the NDP is either going to vote with the government and avoid an election, with the opposition and we're into a snap election, the government will fall, or they could recuse themselves. In other words, just not show up. They think we're backed in a corner, we're out. And that means it would be down to the Greens and maybe Jody Wilson-Raybould. So all of a sudden, what was a sort of a regular Tuesday in that building behind me and those buildings behind me has become a very, very important day tomorrow. So here we are. We're inching ever closer to a snap election.
Okay, so clearly a bluff attempt by the Prime Minister. We just don't know whether that bluff is going to be called.
I don't know if it's a bluff. I mean, either it's a bluff and they don't want an election and they just want to avoid this committee that the Conservatives and the NDP want. That would be the bluff. Or they're saying, we want an election. And go ahead. We're calling this a confidence motion because we're confident we're going to win an election. You call us corrupt? Go ahead. So, yeah, they're asking the opposition to put their money where their mouths is on this. And the Conservatives are ready to. The Bloc is ready. It's going to be up to the NDP. But as for the Liberal motive, some want an election now because, you know, the polls are a little better for them. The economy doesn't look like the economy is going to get much better in the spring, but you don't know. And some are clearly saying openly, we don't want an election. We just can't function in a government like this, which for a lot of the opposition members is a little hard to believe. It is a minority government, after all.
Yeah, so once again, the NDP will play kingmaker sometime the next 24 hours. All right, Evan, thank you for the update. Appreciate that.
Thanks, Marella.